This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. Rolex prices have been on a downward trend for the past few months, and there are no signs of them stopping anytime soon. This is good news for consumers who have been wanting to buy a Rolex but have been put off by the soaring prices. It is important to know what you are doing before you buy a Rolex in the current market. In this video brought to you by the Luxury World, we will discuss why Rolex prices are falling, what to expect in the coming months, and what you should and should not do if you are considering buying a Rolex. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, we encourage you to do so now to stay informed about our future videos. We have analyzed the status of the secondary watch market, and the results are as follows. According to the 2023 report provided by Morgan Stanley, they have begun producing reports on the condition of the secondary watch market because many individuals view watches as investments and a means of preserving wealth. The assessment for the third quarter of 2023 is unfavorable. Watch prices are on a downward trend, signaling a challenging period for the market. This trend is particularly prominent among the major watch brands, often referred to as the Big Three, which include Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Audemars Piguet. In the third quarter of 2023, prices have decreased by 5%, marking a deterioration compared to the 3% decline in the first and second quarters. To provide more specific data, Rolex experienced a price decrease of 4.6% in the third quarter and a substantial 12% decline in prices throughout the entire year. The situation is far from favorable, especially when we consider that this marks the sixth consecutive quarter of declining prices. The highest point was in May 2022, and since then, prices have consistently dropped over the last 6 quarters. There are two primary factors contributing to this situation. Firstly, it can be attributed to the actions of professionals and speculators who invested during the market's upswing, but in doing so, they overextended themselves by accumulating excessive inventory. Now, they are grappling with the challenge of offloading this surplus inventory, which has added to the market's woes. Furthermore, the uncertainty in the current financial landscape has compounded the issue. The monetary environment is marked by a significant degree of unpredictability, further impacting the stability of the secondary watch market. 3 years ago, prices were lower than they are now, signifying that prices have risen over this period. Additionally, they highlight the continued high demand for watches, low inventory levels, and the sustained retention of value. Let us delve into some of the arguments presented in the report that were intended to reassure us. Comparing current prices to those 3 years ago is misleading, as that period marked an upswing, while we are currently experiencing a downturn. This is the core issue. Prices are currently on a downward trajectory, and the question is, where will they bottom out? The report emphasizes the concept of value retention, noting that Rolex watches have appreciated by an average of 27%. It is essential to understand that this figure varies depending on the specific watch model, which we will discuss in more detail later. Furthermore, the report highlights the persistently high demand for watches and the limited availability of inventory. In authorized dealerships, watches are non-existent, with 100% of their stock being sold. It is worth noting that the high demand and low inventory are interconnected factors. The notion that watches are scarce and securing one is a stroke of luck is likely to be a result of artificially created demand, but this phenomenon is more likely to originate from intermediaries rather than Rolex itself. While Rolex prices have increased by an average of 27%, it is crucial to clarify that this comparison is drawn between the retail prices at authorized dealers and the prices they fetch in the gray market. This 27% increase represents an average across all Rolex models. To gain a more accurate understanding, it is advisable to consider specific watch models. For instance, if you were to purchase a lady's timepiece or a two-tone Datejust featuring diamonds on the dial and bezel from an authorized dealer, it does not necessarily mean that its value instantly appreciates by 27% when you leave the store. The value fluctuates depending on the watch model. There is an assumption that as watches reappear in authorized dealer highlights, and these dealers begin to release their inventory, then the situation may become clearer. You can expect to observe a growing presence of ladies' watches and Datejust models adorned with diamonds on both the dial and the bezel. Subsequently, you will notice an increase in steel watches of lower complexity, followed by the emergence of professional watches crafted from precious metals. If luck is on your side, you might come across a Submariner. The chances of encountering a Daytona are quite slim, as they consistently remain highly sought after and in demand. The decision to make a purchase right now is contingent on several factors. It hinges on the specific watch model you are interested in and whether you are considering a modern or vintage timepiece. For modern watches, if you have access to a highly sought-after model and it aligns with your preferences, it might be a suitable time to make the purchase. Conversely, if the model is less desirable, like a two-tone Datejust with an abundance of diamonds, it could be an opportune moment to buy. In the case of vintage and neo-vintage pieces, particularly those with 5-digit reference numbers, it may also be a favorable time to consider a purchase. This is assuming that prices do not continue to decline, which seems throughout 2023 and into 2024. If the trend stabilizes or reverses, it could be an excellent opportunity to acquire a unique and unconventional piece, such as rare dial variations or stick dial GMT watches. Considering the likelihood of this downward trend persisting without a rebound, it is not a wise time to sell. This demonstrates that the current moment is not ideal for selling. In a bigger view, the situation might be even more challenging than what reports suggest. We could be witnessing a significant shift in the market, potentially indicating the end of an era. If you start noticing two-tone Datejust watches, diamond dial Datejusts, and ladies' timepieces prominently displayed in authorized dealer displays, it is a significant indication that the market dynamics are changing. It is possible that these watches are being stored in the back, waiting for inquiries because they are not the kind of models that can be quickly flipped for profit. People are primarily interested in watches like the Daytona GMT and Steel Submariner, which have strong resale potential. It is worth noting that Rolex has plans to open another factory, which will lead to an increase in the production of modern pieces, and this will have its implications. There are a few reasons why Rolex prices are falling. First, the global economy is slowing down, and this is leading to a decline in demand for luxury goods like Rolex watches. Second, there is an increasing supply of Rolex watches on the secondary market. This is because people who bought Rolexes at inflated prices in the past are now selling them off at a loss. Rolex prices will continue to fall in the coming months. The global economy is expected to remain weak, and the supply of Rolex watches on the secondary market is expected to continue to increase. The market is on a downward trajectory, and we anticipate further declines. The big question is whether there will be a recovery, especially for modern pieces. It is crucial to exercise caution in the current market, particularly with modern watches. On the other hand, vintage, neo-vintage, and discontinued models seem to be safer bets now. In conclusion, the secondary watch market is undergoing a significant transformation, with prices on a downward trend, particularly for modern timepieces. While the future remains uncertain, the market dynamics are shifting, and what was once highly desirable may no longer hold the same value. Whether you are considering buying or selling, it is essential to assess the specific model, demand, and inventory carefully. The age-old adage of buy low, sell high remains relevant, but the timing and the specific watch model you choose can make all the difference. As we navigate this evolving landscape, it is vital to stay informed and make strategic decisions based on the current market conditions. What are your thoughts on the topic discussed in this video? If you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate it if you let us know by leaving a comment and giving it a thumbs up. Do not forget to follow our channel for more content. Thank you for watching The Luxury World, and we look forward to having you join us in our upcoming videos.